What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Dubai, Season 2, Episode number 4. And this episode was titled Drama Queens, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and jump into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, if you guys aren't subscribed yet, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai, shall we? Now, before we go ahead and just even dig deep into the episode, I was just on Twitter before I came on here, and I was somehow this lady showed up on my timeline, and I don't know how because I the Twitter account that I was on, I don't even tweet about housewives on it, but she showed up on my timeline and she was going in on what is supposed to be her friend on this show, and I just don't understand her. It's something mentally wrong with that woman. I'm not trying to figure it out. I don't care. Let me see if I can find her tweet. Oh, I have her muted on this. If I can find that tweet, baby, I will definitely tell you guys what it said because it was just, oof, very interesting and very weird to me. So I'm going to read this tweet to you guys. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it because I don't know if she tweeted it last night or if she tweeted it today. So she's talking about, she's weird. She is so weird. So I don't know. Oh, her and Talene are going back and forth with each other. Like literally, her and Talene are going back and forth, tweeting each other. I'm yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone because I just don't really care too much. Oh, here it is. It says, actually, I'm not sleeping with anyone at the moment, nor do I sleep with a lot of men ever. But we can talk about who Talene and her husband are sleeping with. Let's not go there. You have kids, and I like them, so tread lightly. This lady is weird. Like I said, it's been a back and forth between she and Talene. She says, I put Talene on this show. She knew not a single person from my cast, and we planned it from season 1. I promised her I'd do whatever it takes to get her on, as she was so desperate to be a part of it. I kept my promise. I'm allowing you to be thirsty and not saying much, but oh my God, how weird. You didn't put her on this show. The producers put her on the show. So she, now I don't know if they did a testing with these ladies, but obviously the producers saw, interviewed her, saw something that they liked with her, and they brought her on the show. So, okay, a little weird. Then she says the narrative that any black woman with money has to sleep with men for it has to stop. It's been done in the past and being done now. My success is not a reflection of any man, it's a reflection of my hard work. This is defamation of character, and I won't be silent. We need to do better, full stop. Well, not being funny, but didn't you say that your salon was built by your ex? I'm not saying that he's contributing the fact to your success, but you didn't build your salon, so I'm a little confused. Maybe I got it wrong. If I did, I did, and it is what it is. I really don't care. I really truly don't care about it, but there's something seriously wrong with this lady, in my personal opinions. You guys can tell me how you feel about that, but we'll go ahead and jump into the episode. And I guess, hell, since we're talking about her, let's go ahead and start up with the person that I mentioned, Talene. So I do like Talene, and what I will say is, so when we saw the episode open up and we saw Talene and she was doing a boot camp and it said it was 93 degrees outside and that is the desert, baby. I know you all about women working out, and I thought it was interesting when she said the fact that I guess the women over there don't really want to work out because they feel like getting your body right is being sexy. I was like, oh, okay. Some people do, work out to be look good and feel sexy about themselves, but some people just work out for the health aspect. But hey, it is what it is, right? But I wouldn't have been working out in no 90-degree heat. I can only if 90 I know 90 degrees over there is hotter than what it is here, but that is hot. And it would be a no for me. It would be a absolute no. So we also found out that her husband Rafi, he wants to have another child and he wants to try for a boy. So that way he can, the last name can carry on. I was like, oh, okay. If that's what you want to do. But Selena's talking about how she's worried, it's already a lot for her with the girls, and adding another baby would kind of put a little bit of you do what's best for you, Talene. Now, the next thing with Talene, we saw her in that kitchen, and I was like, you really don't know your way around the kitchen. Like with that cookie dough she made. And I think she only made 6 cookies. I'm like, Mama, you can make more than 6 cookies with that box of cookies. And then she makes some really big, huge cookies. It is what it is. So we found out that the guys had a guys' night with each other. And so it was Sergio, it was Rafi, and it was Ayan's husband, Chris, right? So Sergio was talking about the situation with him and Stanberry and how he feels that her kids disrespect him. And Sergio, what I will say when it comes to Stanberry's kids, I think part of the thing for them is you have married their mother, but especially for her daughter Yasmin, it's like I'm closer in age to you than you are to my mother. So it's kind of like they don't look at you as a father figure. They kind of look at you more as an annoying big brother, and we'll get into Sergio in just a minute. But I think that's what the issue is with Sergio and Stanberry's children is that they don't look at him as an authoritarian, not authoritarian, but someone of a father figure or someone. Because when you think about people who are parental figures, they're typically older, much older than you, and unfortunately, Sergio is not much older than them. So it is what it is. But that'll come back up again later in the episode. So what we'll do next is we will go ahead and move on to Stanberry and Sergio. This first scene with Stanberry and Sergio, it was hilarious to me because of the fact with Sergio, like I said last week, and I'll say it again, Sergio is like an annoying child because they're packing to move out of Michael's place, and baby Michael is a lot nicer than I could ever be because they've overstayed their welcome, and then the fact that y'all have taken over his home, baby, I would have evicted y'all weeks ago. So Stanberry is trying to get the license stuff turned on in the house, right? But then you have Sergio just sitting there nagging her. If you guys ever watched Family Guy, and there was this episode where Lois was laying on the bed and Stewie was like, "Mommy, mommy, mama, 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 mother, mother, mother." Like that's kind of like what Sergio was doing. It was Caroline. Caroline. He kept saying Caroline's name, asking her about some bloody handbags, and I was like, "My God, Sergio, you act like a child." And that is what that therapist was telling Stanberry last week. And she kept getting pissed off with Sergio. She's like, "For God's sake, Sergio, I don't give a damn about the bags. I'm trying to have lights on in the house." Now, when she sat there and said that you got to live in Dubai for 3 years before you can get any kind of bills in your name, I was like, wow. So where do you stay at? Like, what do you do if you planning to move to Dubai and you want to have like you get a place there? Who's the bill? Whose name are the bills gonna be in? That is weak. I guess they say shit. We want to make sure you ain't gonna just up and leave in 6 months. My God, that is so interesting to me. I don't think I would ever move to Dubai, me personally. So then we see as Michael came in trying to ask like how can he help, And Sergio got in his feelings about that. And I was like, Sergio, Michael is literally just trying to help you and Stanberry out. So I don't understand why you're so in your feelings about this. Like that, excuse me. So that to me didn't make any sense. And I was just so confused. But then we do see them as they finally did move to the house, right? So when they got to the house, now mind you, the house ain't completely finished. It's still got some things that need to be done to it. And I'm like, wow. But they only moved into the house for their peace of mind and sanity. And I was like, that makes sense. But damn, your house ain't even finished yet. And I'm pretty sure Michael wanted them to get the hell out of his house. Again, Michael is much better person than I could ever be. Much better person, because if you tell me you coming to stay with me if you need to stay with me for 2 weeks, baby, 2 weeks is all you getting. You won't get anything more than that. And I'm so sorry if you ain't got nowhere to stay, but you got to get the heck up out of my place, like for real, for real. But yeah, that was that. Now, like I said, we did see them move into the house. The house is nice, although it's not finished, but the house is nice. And Sergio, he apologized to Stanberry for, the way he acted when it came to Michael. I was like, yeah, you definitely know you overreacted, Sergio. Like you were doing the most for no reason. Like Michael was literally just trying to help because you and Stanberry were very loud at one point. Like she was screaming at you. And so Michael overheard that, and Michael came in to see what could be done. So on top of him being a little child, he's also very insecure when it comes to his relationship with Stanberry. And I don't understand it, but hey, it ain't for me to understand, right? But that's it. When it comes to them, we're gonna move on to the next person, who is Sarah. So when it comes to Sarah, like I've said before, you guys, I do like Sarah, but there are times that Sarah gets on my nerves. And I do feel like with Sarah, she comes off as a know-it-all. She comes off as wanting to be this guru of healing and all that kind of stuff. And she wants to just fix people and make everything, make everybody happy and things of that nature. And it just feels like it's a facade. Let's just be real with each other, right? So we see as Sarah is sitting down with her friend Saba. And I was wondering, I was like, does Saba have an interview? Look, and she does, right? So Saba is also Sarah's business partner. And while they were sitting down, Sarah got a call from the guy that she's dating. His name, he lives in Germany. What is his name? What is homeboy's name? He's a handsome guy. I will say that. He's Akeem. He's a good looking guy. I don't know what he does. He was working out when they were on the phone with each other. And Sarah, be real, be honest with each other, be honest with yourself. And because when you went on a date with that guy, I think you might have been already talking to Akeem at that time. Like, girl, you ain't fooling me. You were already talking to some Akeem. That's why you weren't interested in that man on top of other things. But let's be real. So let's be real. So we also found out that Saba has a lisp. Now I don't know anybody that has a lisp, but I think when you talk to people, you can hear it. I know that when I had my braces the first time, oh God, it gave me a lisp, but I don't have a lisp. But I know that them braces gave me a dang on lisp. And I was like, wow, how in the hell did these braces give me a lisp? Because I could hear when I say S words, I was like, ooh, ooh. I was like, okay, cool. Um, yeah, so that's really all we got with Sarah. Sarah, I'm gonna say this, and if anybody likes Sarah, it is what it is. I ain't trying to be a rude or offensive, not offensive, but I ain't trying to be rude or nothing like that. But I think I've said it plenty of times before that with Sarah, with them keeping Sarah this season, they could have actually reduced her to a friend of, because so far in her individual scenes, I haven't saw anything from Sarah that gives she should have stayed a full-time housewife. Like they could have either got rid of her, and I ain't trying to take nobody's check away from them, but they could have either got rid of Sarah or reduced Sarah's role, because we've gotten more from Ayan, Lisa, Talene, Stanberry, and that other black woman. We've gotten more from them than we've gotten from Sarah, and we're 4 episodes in. So yeah, I really do feel like Sarah could have been a friend of. That's just me keeping it real with you guys. Again, if you like Sarah, it is what it is. I ain't trying to be I ain't being rude. I'm just saying how I feel. We can agree to disagree. So next up, we're gonna move on and wrap the episode on up with our girl, Chanel Ayan. So you guys remember, I think it was what episode 1 when Stanberry and Ayan had sat down with each other, and Ayan was talking about she doesn't know how old she is, and so she's wondering if she may be younger than Stanberry or older than Stanberry. Now, me guessing, I would say Ayan is probably younger than Stanberry. So we see Stanberry, Lisa, and Ayan. They went to, I don't know if it was a dentist, but they went to go do an age estimation on her teeth, right? And then when the guy started, they took X-rays of her teeth. She has 2 teeth that are missing in one side of her mouth. And so we found she told us that her mom pulled her teeth out when she was about 13 or 14 years old. I was like, wait a minute. So she just literally just grabbed your teeth with some with what pliers or something and just yanked them out your mouth. Oh my God. I know that shit had to hurt. Because I mean, just regular, teeth pulling, even with anesthesia, even when they put the stuff on your mouth and stuff, regular teeth work, that hurts when you numb. And then when the numbing finally wears off, that's even worse. My God, today. Ayan has been through a lot. So we also find out that Ayan is going to be having a queen's party for so she's invited all the ladies to the party. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm fine with that. So so after that, I think it was uh no, it was Lisa who asked Stanberry, you know, what's going on with the issues between she and the other black woman. And Stanberry says, we're cordial with each other. I was like, well, that don't mean that y'all good. You can be cordial with the, but hey, I don't as much as Stanberry wasn't my favorite person last season. I honestly can't sit here and say that I even blame her for not wanting to have any kind of dealings with that other black woman because, like I said, there's just something wrong with her, and I don't really want to try to figure it out. I don't really care what the issues are. Hopefully, I don't know. We're gonna just pray for her. That's all I can say is I'll pray for that lady. So we get to Ayan's event. The ladies showed up late, and oh my God, that is my biggest pet peeve is people being late. I do not like lateness. It just does something to me. But yeah. So now, Sarah, I will ask you this quick question because you talking about the fact in your interview that Ayan didn't tell you to wear a tiara, but it's a party for queens. Why wouldn't you think to wear a tiara? And it's Ayan. Why would you not think to wear a tiara to a queen's party? But okay, girlfriend, it is what it is. So once again, Ayan is asking about what's going on between Stanberry and the other black woman. They both said that they're fine. I was like, y'all are not fine because y'all aren't even looking at each other. Y'all ain't even interacting with each other. But I'm okay with that. I really truly am. It's fine. I would prefer that as opposed to them, screaming, arguing, and yelling at each other, right? So then Sarah told the group about the guy that she's dating and that he'll be there. And so the ladies want to meet him, and she says, you guys will definitely be able to meet him. So at one point, Ayan told the ladies that she wanted them to go around the table and just pick one lady and say something positive about them, right? And they were able to do that. Lisa said something about Sarah. Sarah said something about Lisa. Ayan said something about the black woman. The other black woman said something about Ayan. Talene said something about Stanberry, and I don't remember if Stanberry said something. I don't remember. Now, Talene asked Stanberry, could she pull her to the side to have a side conversation with her? And what I will say in this particular moment, I actually had a lot of respect for Talene. I respected the fact that Talene did not bring the issue to the group because it really wasn't for the group, right? So Talene pulled Stanberry to the side to have the conversation with her about what Sergio had said to Rafi and Chris, right? And the fact that he feels like Stanberry's children don't respect him. And shout out to you guys for leaving it in the comment section last week of the review that Yasmin, when they played the clip back about the things that Yasmin was saying about Sergio, I was like, oh, that is so disrespectful that he wants to wear a dress and all that kind of stuff. I was like, wow, that is so janky. So Stanberry says that she told her daughter, like, you now here's what I will say, Stanberry. The fact that you joke about him in front of your kids, that's disrespectful to him as well. Like, it's not right for you to say it to him if you make jokes about him wearing a dress and any of that other stuff that your daughter said. If you say those rude and crass jokes to him, then you're demeaning him. You're actually emasculating the hell out of him. Let's be real. You're emasculating him. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with your daughter saying it, and I wouldn't agree with you saying it. Respect him. And I think that's his problem is he doesn't feel like he's respected. But also with Sergio, you act like a child. You act so needy and so helpless and so whiny. So I mean, you gotta buck up too. And when I say buck up, just stop acting like you do. I don't like that's my only thing when it comes to Sergio. Sergio does act like a little kid. He really does. But I think Stanberry appreciated, Talene pulling her to the side. So the other ladies are over there at the table, and the other black woman, she's making all kind of faces, and it's like, girl, why are you scrunching your face up like this? It's like, ugh, she just irks my spirit. Like it's something wrong with that lady. And I hope that Lisa, watching last night's episode back, felt bad about the way that she came at Talene. Because when Talene and Stanberry came back to the table, the ladies wanted to know what the conversation was that they just had. And, she's like, I don't feel like I should bring it to the group. That's why I pulled her to the side to have the conversation with her, right? And Lisa called her a bitch 3 times, maybe even 4. And you guys know I go up for Lisa. I love Lisa, but I gotta be real about the situation. Lisa, baby, you were 100% wrong because that woman didn't do nothing to you. And for you to sit there and just keep saying, you don't have to be a bitch, you're being bitchy. She really wasn't being bitchy. She wasn't. She did the right thing. Instead of her bringing it to the group, what Sergio says, she pulls Stanberry to the side to have the conversation. And I have immense respect for that. I really do. So, Talene, you get a point in my book. Now, I don't know what's going on between you and your friend on Twitter. That I don't know, and I don't really care. But yeah, you guys, that is the episode. Leave your comments down in the comments below. If you guys also want to discuss the other black woman in the comments, we can always talk about her in the comments. But as far as alive, I definitely refuse to discuss that woman. But as always, you guys, please stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.